So I was going to make a video on Friday talking about my reaction to the new body cam footage from the arrest of George Floyd and his subsequent death as a result. And unfortunately, I did not have the time. I thought that I would before having my graduation party, but turns out that's not the case. Then, of course, I have I have to work again, like I did today on Saturday, and then I have to do it again on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. It's going to be a pain in the ass. So, which is why I'm making this video at 10:43 p.m. tonight on Saturday, and I will be. By the time you probably see this video, it's late at Sunday. That being said, I'm definitely going to be talking about the George Floyd podcast footage, because the entire narrative was that, despite the fact that he was on drugs, the narrative was that George Floyd was being cooperative with police, and it was the police that was acting irregularly as a result. To put it very mildly, but as it turns out from this body cam footage, it shows a lot of contradictions to that narrative, because from what I saw in the body cam footage, when the officers come up to his window, try to talk to him, it was clear that he was moving around, he was panicking, and multiple times he even said that he couldn't breathe, and this was before the whole kneeling near his throat, the blood circulation, and I will get to that part soon. He was just in panic mode. You can see it in his face, and he was just moving his arms about. And it definitely did alert the cops a few times as well. And they of course tried to arrest him. They managed to get himself out of the car, and of course he was still panicking, and was calling out that he could breathe. The officers in the video said that they are willing to let down the window so that it can help him breathe. And then of course resisting arrest ensued, and just the subsequent kneeling on George Floyd. Considering that this new body cam footage is now being released, I don't think that the cop is going. David Chauvin, I think it was, is going to be found guilty of murder. And that's just in my own honest opinion. I'm nothing. I don't know much. No about law, but considering this newfound evidence, this leaked footage being shown to the wider public at large, it doesn't seem like that the officers actually knew about the situation that George Floyd was in, because he had a lot of drugs within his system. In fact, just recently, forensics showed that George Floyd actually died as a result of the fentanyl and meth. While it is true, while still there was the issue with the whole kneeling thing, the drugs mainly had more to do with that situation with stopping his heart. At most, I would say that this would be involuntary manslaughter. I think that at the very most, that is what the 4 officers charged with George Floyd's death are going to get. And to be honest, with this newfound footage, I just think honestly, I think it's already created a divide. Because from how I see this, the George Floyd protests and the subsequent riots that resulted was over the police brutality, as well as this whole supposed narrative of racism, because George Floyd is black and the officer in the video, David Chauvin, is white. It was portrayed as being racist, that sort of thing. From what I understand, because of this newfound footage, and the fact that the high probability that David Chauvin is going to be found not guilty on murder, it's gonna rile up probably more protests or more riots as a result. That's just what I'm thinking. And although at the same time, this is actually going to discredit these protests in the process. Not only does it show that there's a much bigger picture to the entire story, especially with the forensics that actually back this up, but it's just going to, at the same time, it's going to be public opinion's actually going to be turned against BLM, against the BLM protests. That's honestly what I think. I know that there's going to be a lot of, at least a lot of division as well as subsequential anger as a result from the mob, but nonetheless, I think as a result of this video, people are just more and more turning against this. People are just already sick and tired. Just in Minnesota, damages are now worth up to $500 million. And small businesses across the entire country have been looted, destroyed, ransacked as a result, and they've been the hardest to hit. And people are just, especially with the whole lockdown COVID-19 situation, it's just not helping them. In fact, a lot of small businesses have actually gone bankrupt just in the case of COVID-19. They cannot survive this, and now with the subsequent riots, it's just putting the pressure much worse. In all honesty, it's just gonna make it all so bad. It's just, from what I understand, there's going to be at first a major uptake, especially when it comes to the major national press resulting the whole sentencing of David Chauvin and the other 3 officers who were involved in the arrest of George Floyd. I think that there will be at first a major uproar, but like I said before, with the subsequent evidence we see, and with just the public opinion turning against the BLM movement, I honestly see that energy breaking out pretty quick. Already, public opinion is just turning against them. People do not like it when people ransack their homes, and with the situations that have occurred, especially with Chaz here in Seattle, and with the continuing riots in the city of Portland, people are just done. People are just completely done and over with. And they're not liking the messages at all, such as defund the police or abolish the police. No one wants that. The black community doesn't want that. In fact, according to a poll, 81% of African Americans who were part of the poll said they wanted police. They wanted the police. All this is just going to stack up more and more against the whole protest. I honestly think that the movement is just not really having good standing legs as a result. The reason why there's still, at least in my opinion, the reason why this protest, this rioting is continually going further is because of how much support is gained from the left, or more specifically, the far left, as well as the mainstream media covering this sort of thing and pushing this kind of narrative. That, in my honesty, is what's keeping these riots and protests alive as a result. But that's just my honest opinion. I don't think that's going to last too long, though. Public opinion is just turning against this. People are not liking their messages. The black community does not like the idea of getting rid of the police. And now with this newfound evidence of body cam footage and the forensic evidence as a result, it's honestly not looking too good. I am pretty, in my honesty, I think BLM, or at least these protests, these riots, are on its last legs. But that's just me. There is also a possibility that there's a possibility that these could subsequently continue on. Then again, they have been continuing on. It's evolved to the point of beyond George Floyd, you might argue. But nonetheless, I am 100% betting that with these new revelations, that it further generates negative coverage against BLM and against this narrative. My name is Noah Meehan on The Arc Truth. Please post your comments down below, like this video, subscribe, and share for friends. Also, if you have any issues regarding how I make my videos, such as how I speak, how I frame my movie videos, and that sort of thing, please post them down in the comment section down below or directly message me. And another thing, like I said before, no videos this upcoming week because I'm going to be at my great-grandmother's funeral. All right. Thank you guys for understanding. See ya.